Lewis, Director of Care House in Sylacauga. And Earl, welcome to Daybreak, and it's early, isn't it?
It is early for me. Some people get up early, but I don't. But I appreciate the opportunity to be here and talk a little bit about what's going on at the care house. So thank you for having me.
Let me explain to everybody. My name is Bob Green. I hadn't done that but one time this morning, and nothing permanent here with me. I'm sitting in this morning with for Jimmy Dale. He'll be back Monday morning, and I'll probably be back sometime in the future, but nothing has been scheduled. And like I said, I got with me Earl Lewis, Director of Care House in Sylacauga. Earl, what you want to talk about this morning?
Well, Bob, we've got our food distribution starting Monday, which is unusual. It's a different, we're operating on a different game plan like a lot of other people are because of the pandemic. And there is some confusion about what we're doing. I know because we're getting some phone calls about it. And in fact, to be honest, I'm a little bit confused myself because we've had such a change in our program. Just to bring you up to date, some people will remember that we've always done a huge food giveaway on around the 14th, 15th of December every year. And it's ranged anywhere from 300 to 400 people that we've served. And this year we're spreading it out over a 10-day period because of the social distancing problem as well as some problems with space. So we've got a whole new ball game, and I'll try to tell you as much as I can about it.
Okay. Let me ask you a question. Tell me about you. Let's back up one statement and tell me about your staff at Care House. And I know most of us, Care House has been around a while, but most of us know what you do. But just synopsis of what you do at Care House, your staff at Care House. And I know you've had some people who've been at Care House, have been your workers a long time there.
Well, to tell you the truth, we've had a pretty big change in our Care House staff. And again, to back up to the way we've always operated prior to the last several months, is we've had a rotating staff of members of nearly all the local churches. And each church has furnished volunteer workers for 1 or 2 weeks out of the year. And we've rotated that around from church to church and so forth. But we just had one of our longtime staff members, Veronica Dunklin, retired last week before last, in fact. And so we've had that change. But let me just tell you the ones that have worked real hard to get ready for what we're about to do. And first of all, Alice Pitchford Collins has just joined the staff. And some people remember her as Dr. John Pitchford's youngest daughter. And she's recently married her high school sweetheart, Danny Collins, and they're living in Sylacauga now. And then my daughter, Robin Lewis, is very much involved in the staff of the Care House. And we've had a couple of newcomers, Philip and Cheryl Partridge, who have helped us for about 2 or 3 months now, and been a real boost. And in addition to them, Bill Scott, who a lot of people know, has been just the most faithful helper that I can imagine. He's been there 2 and 3 days, and sometimes 4 days a week. He's helped me move food from place to place, and he's just a great guy, and we couldn't have done without him.
Now, Bill is not one that just showed up recently. He's been there a while.
Bill, in fact, is on the board of the Care House, and he, as you said, he's been involved for a long time. Yeah, and he's just a great guy. I don't know, a lot of people probably don't even know Bill, but he's been here a long time. Used to be the head of the utilities board here, but he's really been a boost to the Care House. And to give him a pat on the back publicly is something way overdue, to tell you the truth.
Well,
one more.
Let me say one more thing about Bill Scott, how dedicated Bill Scott is. Bill and I were golf partners. I gave golf up about a year ago, but Bill and I and Buddy Simpkins and Tom Bevins were golf, and we played at least 2 times a week, Tuesday and Thursdays. Bill would actually give up his golf day to come work at Care House.
Right.
So that's how dedicated Bill Scott is to the Care House. And of all the things Bill has ever talked to me about, the one that he's been really adamant about and everything has been Care House and his caring for Care House. So you've got an excellent supporter, a man there, and just a great person. And I'm glad to call Bill Scott a good friend.
Yeah. Yeah, he tells me about some of those golf matches that y'all used to have, and he and Tom and Buddy still have. And do you know Bill had a hole-in-one about 5 or 6 weeks ago, first one of his life, and he tried not to tell anybody because it's a little expensive to cover the tab out at the country club if you have a hole-in-one. So he kept it secret, sort of.
Well, I didn't know that, and I'd love to next time I'll do the show for Jimmy Dale. I'm going to get a picture of Bill Scott, and I'm going to bring it, and we're going to put it on there. Because I'm sure I've got a picture of him with his golf club, swinging a golf club someplace.
He may be mad at us for this, though, because he doesn't like publicity.
Probably on hole number 17.
I think that's right. I'm not sure. He told me, but I've forgotten. But
he's how old's Bill? Do you think Bill would care?
I don't know whether I'll tell you or not, but I'll tell you he's older than you or I, either one. I'm a little older than you are, and Bill's several years older than I am. So he's still in mighty good shape to be the age he is.
I won't mention his age. I know it too, but I hope I make it to his age. So
I got one more lady I need to mention.
Okay.
That's a regular on our staff. Has been working there as a volunteer at the Care House for, gosh, I don't really know, probably at least 8 or 9 years, and that's Dorothy Cook. And she's a great lady. She's been running our clothing room for us for all that time.
I think that's the one I was mentioning when we started off. It had been there a while. I couldn't.
Yeah, she has. And of course, Veronica, the one that I mentioned just retired, she's been there 8 or 9 years too. So those two ladies have been very valuable. Donnie Morris has been another guy that's volunteered with us for some. He hasn't been the last few weeks because he's been tied up in some other things. But when we first reopened after the pandemic, Donnie was very active for us and probably going to help us some during our food giveaway over the next few weeks too. And I hope I haven't left anybody of the regulars out. I don't think I have. But anyway, we're off to a really busy week starting this coming Monday. We've been busy for the last several weeks, but we're going to really be busy starting this Monday.
Okay, I think you wanted to, we need to get down to what the food distribution basket system and just go through it in detail, and maybe everybody, if you're out there and you're interested in the distribution, you might ought to get a pencil and sit down.
Make a note or two. Yeah.
Make a note or two, because Earl's fixing to explain it in detail. I've got it here, and it took 2 pages to put it out here. So to see how it worked.
Well, as I said, we've had to change everything because of the pandemic, and the way we've done this, we basically ended our food gathering stage last Tuesday, this past Tuesday. We will still accept food, of course, if somebody brings it late, but we had a deadline, a loose deadline of last Tuesday, which was the 23rd, I believe, right, that we asked everybody to try to get their food donations. And believe you me, we've had a good turnout. You can hardly walk in the Care House building right now. There's so much food piled up that there's little walkways through everywhere, and that's a good thing. We're really happy about that. But beginning this Monday and lasting for 10 days, which I'll highlight what days those are, we're going to give out the food over a 10-day period rather than 1 day like we've done before. And that will start this coming Monday, which is November 30th. And we will give out 25 food orders a day, and that's all. We're going to give out 25 numbers at the beginning of each day, and the 25 people that get a number will get their food that day. Then the next day we'll do the same thing, and one of the points I really want to make is that everybody doesn't have to come on that first day. and you don't have to get down there at 7 o'clock or 6 o'clock in the morning. Although it will be, first people there will get the 25 numbers each day, but it will be spread out over that 10-day period so that you don't have to all come on the first day, and you don't have to come real early, because we're not going to open the doors till 9:30, and for you to stand around out there for 2 hours or something, it's just needless, especially as cold as it's going to be next week. So try to kind of gauge. You know, we're probably going to be real busy the first day, and that's fine. Maybe the second day, and then it'll probably taper off a little. But we'll give out the food Monday through Thursday next week, which that goes to what, December 4th, I believe, and then the following week we'll give out food Monday through Thursday again, and then the last week we'll only give out on Monday and Tuesday, with Wednesday the 16th as a makeup day if we need it. But I believe I meant to bring a calendar. I see you're trying to check yours, but I believe this first week it'll be November 30th through December 4th, I believe is correct. And then the next week, December 7th through the 11th, I believe. And then on the last week, the 14th and 15th, with 16th as a makeup day. And so if you're listening and that made sense to you, check your calendar and pick out a day, and don't everybody come at one time, I hope. We didn't do a pre-registration this year because the registration is done in such close quarters, and some of our people who had helped us with registration for years did not want to sit across the table that close to somebody, so we didn't do the pre-registration. The only qualifications you'll have to have when you show up is a photo ID and have on a face mask, and practice social distancing as much as possible. We'll be serving the food out the front door of the care house. The clients will line up outside and never come in the building. We'll hand the food out through the door.
Okay.
And there's probably a few other things I can cover, but we will be at the care house, not at the Presbyterian Church. That's one thing I need to make clear to everybody. We'll be giving the food out there.
Okay. Let's make clear how Monday you open at 9:30.
Right.
First 25 people there.
Right.
So
and then
if you get there and you 30 or 40 in line, you should just go home.
You're gonna have to come back another day.
Go home.
Yeah.
So. Okay.
And I know that's probably gonna cause a little inconvenience for somebody, but you're gonna have to understand that we're operating on a completely different plan than we've ever used before. And I'm gonna use, I've told some people this, Bob, and you remember the guy, my high school football coach, Bill Harris, who a few people remember, you do, but he had 2 or 3 slogan type things that he told us, and one of them was adjust to the situation, and that's what we're trying to do, is adjust to the situation. And I learned that from Coach Harris a long time ago. At the halftime and pregame, he'd make those statements sometime, and that's what we're trying to do.
I think that's what you do at halftime every week.
Adjust to the situation. That's right.
How many baskets will we be giving out?
We've got food to give out at least 270, and we probably can squeeze out a few more than that if we need to. But at the 25 a day for 10 days, that's 250. And we will have, now we've got another little thing, there's no need getting real deep into this, but through the mental health program, we've got about 35 to 38 people that we'll serve at different times other than the 9:30 to 12 every day. So that makes the total.
They'll be notified though.
Oh, they already know when to come. They're gonna come at the end of the day after we close on the week of the 15th, 16th of December, and they already know what their schedule is, and that's all. But that will boost our numbers to at least 290 to 295, maybe even 300 that we'll give out.
Okay.
Which is about what we've done in the last couple of years.
Care House has always been one of the outstanding organizations in Sylacauga. How do you operate?
Well, we
What
operate strictly on donations, and we don't get any money from any governmental agency, churches, individual, civic organizations. That's where our money comes from, and some of the local industries support us too. But
If somebody'd like to mail you a check, what's the address?
Post Office Box 2594, Sylacauga, Alabama 35150. 2594.
2594.
And the donations to the care house are fully tax deductible. We are a 501c3 organization, which means that if you give us a cash donation, or actually if you give us a donation of any kind, that's something that we need, you can write it off as an income tax deduction.
If I ask you the telephone numbers at the care house, you got those on top of your head?
256-249-8289, and you're welcome to call for more information if you need to.
Okay. 256-249-8289. And I'm sure that this would be a nice time for a Thanksgiving donation.
Right, or call it a Christmas donation. That's what we've always done before, is we've done our food baskets approximately halfway between Thanksgiving and Christmas. And now we're doing it over that 10-day period, which it'll finally end about halfway between Thanksgiving and Christmas. But we've always called them Christmas baskets before, and I've been calling them pre-Christmas baskets this time. But anyway, that's
P.O. Box 2594.
94.
2594.
That's exactly right.
So if you can't remember any other number today, write a check. Send it to P.O. Box 2594. Once again, we got about 2 minutes, Earl, talking to Earl Lewis, the Director of Care House. Tell us real quick about the distribution of food and when it starts and how to do it.
Start Monday morning, November 30th at 9:30. We'll give out 25 per day for 4 days, Monday through Thursday that week, Monday through Thursday the following week, and Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday the following week.
Okay.
So that carries us from November 30th to December the 15th or 16th.
Okay, thank you to Alice Pitchford, Robin Lewis, Philip and Cheryl Partridge, Bill Scott, Dorothy Cook, and Donnie Morris, all the workers. And did I miss anybody?
Well, we've got some others that have been loyal over the years. For example, your friends and mine, Joe and Willie Harris, but
Yeah.
they've been pretty well quarantined themselves, not because they've got the virus, but
they've quarantined them. And
yeah.
But thank you for what you do, Earl, and thank you for your organization.
Thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
We'll be back finish up Sylacauga Daybreak right after this.
There's that obituary.